All right, the next thing I'd like to show you is a variation of the classic pigeon stretch from yoga. We do this a little bit differently for our rehab patients here because we have a little bit different of a goal for the stretch. And it's really more of a joint mobilization than a static posture. So what we're talking about here is setting up sort of like a classic pigeon. We'll start in a plank. Then we're going to have you bring your one leg up to the point where you can have your leg folded comfortably against you. In a classic pigeon, you might have your lower leg rotated up a bit. All we want to do with this is allow your hip to get into this position here, and the lower leg doesn't matter as much. The higher up you have your leg, the more pressure it's going to put on your knee. So if your knee is sore, allow your leg to come back down. And then what we're going to do is basically come down onto your elbows if you can. If that's uncomfortable for you, you can stay up on your arms. But if you're able to come down your elbows, this is going to be our starting position here. And then from here, we're not going to just keep a fixed position. We're going to start moving a little bit side to side. So this allows us to get some different parts of the joint and stretch the joint out. So I'm basically moving my hips to the right and to the left to find where different parts of the hip are tight and working those areas out. And when you're doing this in practice, you might spend a minute or so in this position, just working through the hip. And then we're going to do a couple variations on this position. Next thing we're going to do is turn to the left and rotate away. So I'll switch legs so you can see what I'm doing here on this side. So we're going to turn the torso towards the side that we're stretching. So in this case, I'm turning towards my right hip. I'm grabbing my right knee with my left hand, making a box with my arm to look through, and I'm going to load up the hip in a different way by drawing my left shoulder towards my right knee, looking through the window I've created with my right arm towards my back foot. And then same thing we were doing before, we're going to move the hips a little bit side to side to work into that stretch. Remember to keep your breathing going. If you hold your breath, you won't get as good a release from the stretch. And just remember to relax. The emphasis is always on the forward leg when we're doing this. There's really no emphasis on the back leg at this time. And then the third position, I'll switch back to the left leg so you can see what we're doing here. We started forward. First we turned away, and then we're going to turn towards the camera. And we're going to basically pull the right shoulder away from the left knee this time and open up to this side. And then same thing as before, we're going to move the hips a little bit left and right to work through that hip. And that's basically part one of what we'll call our pigeon stretch. Part two is more of just a mobilization. Once you feel good with those first three, then we're going to turn those into kind of a broader range of motion overall. So we'll start with our same pigeon position here that we initially started with. Then we're going to roll as far as you can down to the left. I'm actually going to allow my left hip to touch the ground and roll all the way over. So I'm on the side of my thigh and my hip. And then we're going to reverse that and come over to the other side slowly and under control. We're going to drag our body this way so the leg is getting left behind. And this turns into more of a hip socket mobilization and adductor stretch or groin stretch. And we're going to go as far forward as we can, allowing that inner left thigh to get most of the stretch. Go as far as you reasonably can with that stretch, and then we're going to come back out over the left side again, drop down to this outer side, and then back over to the rolling forward to get the groin. And that is going to be it. So we'll repeat that on the other side, and that is our pigeon stretch.